Yo guys, OtakuOps's here. How's it going? I hope everyone's doing well. I know like Christmas is coming up and we're all busy helping family, etc., etc. If you have one, I mean, mine is very far away, so can't really do much. But anyway, today you can probably guess from the title of the video, but I'm gonna talk about a game which was actually released in 2021, back in September, first on macOS and then also Windows at the same time. And it was then released on Nintendo Switch in May of this year and on the Xbox One in August of this year. And of course, I'm gonna talk about OPUS, Echo of Starsong. Okay, so the first thing I have to say here, this is not some kind of paid review, like nobody's paying me to do anything. I am just reviewing it because I really do believe that it's a game worth playing, and that's basically it. That's my channel is all about that. It's not about marketing or promo. So I was really surprised to learn that this game was made by a company called Sigono, and I looked it up, of course, and I found out that it's a company based in Taiwan, of all places. I didn't even know Taiwan made games, to be honest with you. I mean, I didn't really think about it. But yeah, this is definitely a great game, and I will explain why. So the game itself is kind of a mixture of visual novel with the exploration part of Mass Effect, and also like some cave exploration, which I'm not sure what it's like exactly, but like it's been done before. It's not exactly new. But the game does a very good job at blending these things together. Plus, you got the voice acting, which I thought was really good. You actually have the choice of picking the Chinese or in Japanese, but I'm more familiar with Japanese, so I went with that. And yeah, it was very good, although some of the names were a bit different in Japanese for some reason. I think it's maybe a problem with the Chinese alphabet converted to Japanese alphabet. I heard that's the problem. But anyway, it's not really a big issue. It didn't really bother me too much. Yeah, the voice acting was very good. So yeah, as you can see behind me, there is a bunch of characters from the game, and of course, the main character is June. That's the one you play as most of the game. He's basically a cave runner. So what it means in the game is that you explore this solar system called Thousand Peaks, and you have to find these asteroids that have things inside them. Lumen basically is the resource of the game, and yeah, so you're going around exploring asteroids, searching for Lumen caves. And the other character, the main character, is Eda. And just, I mean, look at her. She's absolutely adorable, isn't she? And Remy is also another main character, although a bit kind of a supporting character, I would say. Definitely June and Eda are the main two ones. Eda, by the way, is a witch in the game, but she doesn't do any magic. She's basically a singer, so her job is she detects signals from space, and she interprets that into songs. That's in a nutshell how it works. And once you do that, she has to sing the song first. You have to match a few things, and that's it. Once you do that, the new location will be revealed. You can go there and explore. Usually it's a cave, but it can be something else as well. All right, and yeah, so most of the time you're playing the game on this world map. It's basically like the exploration part of Mass Effect, except that you don't have to probe Uranus. Yeah, it's fun. You're going around different locations. You bump into certain events from time to time, and that usually is determined by the roll of a die. And depending on the score you get, you can either pass or fail the test. If you fail the test, you usually take some damage, you lose some armor. You may lose some money, although I'm not too sure about that. But of course, the point is you should win as much as possible. And in fact, there is a very good walkthrough available, which literally goes into every single decision in the game. And if you win certain events, what you get. Some things are just money, so like it's nice, but it can be not really necessary. But sometimes it can be items, rare items. And one of the things that you're doing is in this game is collecting those items. That gives you an achievement if you collect them all. Unfortunately, when I played it, I missed a few at the start, and I could never get that achievement. I don't really want to replay it because unfortunately it's one of those games where you really have to just play it once. It's not an open world type of game really, so just playing it once is enough. There's not much replayability to it, to be honest, but just to play it once, definitely worth it for sure. And yeah, so there are other things in the game that happen from time to time. It goes into a kind of visual novel style, so that's just your standard, you know, portrait of characters, and they're talking to each other with voiceovers. The other part, of course, is cave exploration, and unfortunately, I don't have footage of that right now, but I do have a picture, a still from that, and as you can see, the art style is very stylized. It definitely has a particular look to it. I'm not sure what software they use to do this. It looks like maybe Unreal, but I could be wrong about that. Anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and give my scores because that's kind of the important part, isn't it? I always go, as you know, in 4 categories: gameplay, music, graphics, and plot. So let's start with gameplay very quickly. I give it a 9 out of 10 because everything, well, most things really just work. I think I had a crash once, but yeah, apart from that, it was pretty good. You're basically flying around, that works fine. You're walking around in caves, that works fine. You're using your synth scepter to you know, match musical patterns, that works fine. So I think it could be just a little bit better in some parts, but overall it's quasi perfect. So 9 out of 10. Music is gorgeous. That's the only word I can use. It's fantastic. I have most of the soundtrack in my playlist. It's just nice music, very relaxing music, most of it. Just some very nice space atmospheric music. So I give it 9 out of 10 as well. Could be just a little bit better in some parts, but overall it was very clever also because you find these melodies, right, from the witches, and they're often reused later in the level, kind of in the background, but with a different pitch. So that's pretty clever. And especially in the last level, I really felt that it adds a lot of like dramatic quality to the level. So that was definitely very clever on their behalf. Graphics, 9 out of 10. Look, I know that obviously it can be better. It can be like much more elaborate, but for this game, for what it needs, it's really almost perfect. The only comment I would say here, the only negative, is sometimes you get near planets or something, and the resolution of those planets was actually very low. It's a very cartoony style, and like too much. Definitely, they could have done that part a bit better, but that's really like a small detail to pick on. But still. And finally, the plot, I gave it 8 out of 10 because while it's good and there's a lot of story in the game, you definitely learn a lot about the characters and their background and the history of the system, and all of that is great. But unfortunately, the original plot, like what you basically hear in the opening of the game, that's gonna be the plot for the rest of the game. So I really wanted some characters to change their opinion, or Obviously, there's a bit of romance in the game, so I thought that would take a bit more root, but unfortunately, it doesn't. And that's a bit disappointing because obviously I wanted a certain type of ending. It just didn't get it. But yeah, overall, still very solid. Definitely worth playing. And in total, it's 35 out of 40. So this is a game I highly, highly recommend if you're into these kind of exploration slash story type of games. As a writer, as a book writer, I'm looking for story right now most of all because I want to know how people write. I want to know the dialogues. I want to know like what characters say, how they feel, and really kind of get into the writer's head. Not obviously not to copy the ideas, but just to enrich myself, like to be a better storyteller myself as well. So yeah, check it out. Opus Echo of Starsong, macOS, Windows, Nintendo Switch. I almost said Ninja Switch. Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. Check it out. Great game, fucking amazing, I would say. It's definitely, I know it's not released this year per se, although it is on the Switch and the Xbox, but it is definitely my game of the year by far. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like, share, and comment. That always helps a lot. And OtakuOps's signing off. I'll see you back with Dragon Age Origins. Bye bye.